A quick note before we begin. All the information presented in this video is gathered from thoroughly researched, publicly available online defense documents and research papers. The center of gravity for global military competition has moved to the oceans of the Indo-Pacific. Major powers are shifting their attention and their budgets away from land borders and toward these contested waters. Over the past 2 decades, China executed its String of Pearls strategy, developing deep-water ports from the South China Sea across the Indian Ocean. Anchoring this network is the Yulin Naval Base on Hainan Island, actively pushing nuclear submarines into regional waters. Faced with this rapid maritime buildup, regional powers have 2 distinct options: modernize their own naval infrastructure or accept being outmaneuvered in their own backyard. For India, the need to adapt became obvious during the 1971 Indo-Pakistani War. That conflict exposed operational bottlenecks at their primary naval installation on the western seaboard. The Indian Navy was operating out of Mumbai Harbor. This port had to simultaneously handle the country's main commercial shipping traffic, a civilian fishing fleet, and the headquarters of the Western Naval Command. Operating military assets out of a crowded commercial harbor presents tactical dangers. The constant civilian traffic creates a noisy acoustic environment, making it difficult to detect adversary submarines. Because heavy warships had to wait for specific tidal windows to navigate the shallow channels, fleet mobilization was often delayed. If you want to understand the engineering projects reshaping global security, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. A blue water navy, a maritime force capable of operating globally across deep oceans, cannot survive in a civilian traffic jam. Escaping this trap required building an exclusive deep-water installation from scratch. To solve this, the Indian Navy initiated Project Seabird. They selected a location south of Mumbai, near Karwar, Karnataka, to build INS Kadamba. INS stands for Indian Naval Ship, a prefix used for the country's military vessels and bases. The location sits right where the steep hills of the Western Ghats drop into the Arabian Sea. The rugged terrain of these hills acts as a physical shield. It blocks low-altitude radar detection coming from the ocean and provides natural camouflage for the ground facilities built behind the ridges. The base is currently undergoing an expansion known as Phase 2A. Engineers are constructing over 6 kilometers of continuous berthing space, giving the Navy the capacity to dock 32 major warships simultaneously. Unlike Mumbai, Karwar features a natural deepwater harbor. Massive capital ships, including 45,000-ton aircraft carriers, can now dock and depart at any time, independent of tidal windows. By removing tidal constraints, the Indian Navy's Western Fleet can function as an immediate first responder and a rapid deployment maritime deterrent. Phase 2A includes a 75-meter-tall covered dry berth that spans 33,000 square meters. For scale, this structure stands significantly higher than the historic Qutub Minar in Delhi. In an age of commercial satellite imagery and space-based espionage, conducting warship refits in the open exposes structural details to adversaries. This fully enclosed structure acts as a visual and electromagnetic shield, denying hostile satellites a view of the maintenance happening inside. Modern naval combat requires the precise application of radar-absorbent materials, specialized coatings designed to reduce a ship's visibility to radar. These coatings require strict atmospheric controls to apply correctly. By utilizing a climate-controlled enclosure, crews can work 24/7, even during the torrential rains and high winds of the southwest monsoon. The engineers also used the mountainous terrain to construct hardened subterranean armament depots. They carved bunkers into the rock to store munitions like heavyweight torpedoes and BrahMos missiles, supersonic cruise missiles developed jointly by India and Russia, keeping them protected from preemptive strikes. The base is also localizing technical repair work. Phase 2A includes a new pneumatic ram facility, specifically designed to test the mast-raising systems on India's Scorpene-class submarines. Performing this maintenance on-site reduces the time these vessels spend out of the water. INS Kadamba is an armored, weatherproof fortress engineered specifically to support fleet stealth and combat readiness. Following its initial construction, the base lacked integrated aviation support. The fleet was forced to rely on aircraft stationed roughly 80 kilometers away in Goa for maritime reconnaissance and air defense. Phase 2A addresses this with the construction of the Alagiri Naval Air Station. Spread across 1,328 acres, the facility features a 2,700-meter main runway. That runway length allows the military to launch heavy aircraft like the Boeing P-8I Neptune. These maritime surveillance planes can take off directly next to the base and establish anti-submarine screens for departing carrier strike groups. Beyond military operations, the airbase incorporates a civilian passenger enclave. Operating under the government's regional connectivity scheme known as UDAN, this dual-use strategy will decongest commercial airspace in Goa while opening up flight access to boost tourism in northern Karnataka. By fusing a deep-water port with a heavy-lift runway, the Navy can deploy ships and aircraft simultaneously, projecting power deep into the Arabian Sea. To gauge the strategic weight of INS Kadamba, we can look at other major maritime hubs. The largest naval installation globally is the U.S. Naval Station Norfolk in Virginia. While Norfolk currently hosts more ships, it occupies 3,400 acres. INS Kadamba spans 11,200 acres. This land bank provides the physical space required for decentralized ammunition storage and allows for future expansion. This visualization compares INS Kadamba's capacity against China's Yulin naval base, which recently expanded wharfs for underwater platforms. This creates a symmetrical deterrence. Yulin uses underground submarine pens for nuclear stealth, while Kadamba's covered dry berths provide satellite-shielded security for India's surface fleet. With 6 kilometers of continuous berthing space, this infrastructure ensures the Indian Navy has the logistical capacity to mobilize its carrier strike groups as rapidly as the Chinese Navy can deploy its own surface forces. The injection of $3 billion into the region has generated tens of thousands of jobs, with over 90% of materials sourced domestically. The project also includes eco-friendly residential townships built to accommodate 10,000 military and civilian families under Green Building Council standards. As the project moves toward Phase 2B, INS Kadamba is scheduled to expand its capacity to host 50 frontline warships. This would make it the largest naval installation in the Eastern Hemisphere. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to The Explainer, and let us know in the comments which megaproject we should cover next.